far as I know, he hasn't been asked. Now to the latest in the case of the missing 11-month-old Lisa Irwin that we've been following right here. Her mother's attorney, Joe Tacopina, says she has nothing to hide, even after telling Fox News she was drunk the night Lisa disappeared.
I had several glasses of wine.
When you say several, more than 3?
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with her.
Okay, Joe Tacopina joins us right now, along with private investigator Bill Stanton, who has just returned from Kansas City. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
All right, first, you work for the parents. You're working representing the parents, right?
Yes.
And you are working on behalf of an anonymous donor who has some money who wants you on the case.
Who has direct ties to the family, and she asked me to come down and take a look at it to find Lisa.
And you are absolutely positive that the family is not guilty, innocent.
I'm not prepared to say that, but I feel confident that it's coming from outside the home. Let's put it that way.
Joe, you burst on the case on Monday officially, correct?
Yes.
What made you think you were defending an innocent woman?
It took me a week and a half before I decided to even go down there. I mean, I've been in contact with the family and with people around the investigation. I grappled with some facts. I got some information. I've learned some things that have not yet been revealed, that have been passed on to PD. And then I spent time with them. And I really spent time with them. And I got a visceral reaction that was so strong. Brian, I would not have gone down to Kansas City yesterday if I had an ounce of doubt regarding their innocence.
Well, did you know that she was drunk that night? That must have come as a shock to you, or did you already know that?
No, I knew that. She was very candid.
Well, because she hadn't told the police that before.
No, she did tell that to the police.
So
I mean, don't forget,
because it was reported yesterday that the police did not know a lot of the information that came out of that interview.
Well, we all know in these high-profile cases, sometimes reporting it comes in dribs and drabs and isn't always accurate. The police have that information from her, and she's, by the way, the one who provided that information.
Right, but would you have advised her as her attorney to tell a reporter that she was drunk that night?
Well, she told that to the police. Whether or not, it's advisable prior to my involvement that she went on all these shows, her goal is one thing, to find this baby.
Right.
That's all she cares about.
And the clock's ticking. This baby, we hope, is alive and somewhere, and we got to find it. Now, Bill, you have had a chance to research this case like arguably anybody else, more, if not as much as...
22 hours a day.
So what could you tell us about how you think the perpetrator could have gotten in?
Well, I won't speak to that. I'll answer your question in a second, but the drinking thing, I mean, I've interviewed all of them, I've spoken to all of them, and, there's different levels of drinking, and people can imprint what to say. If I keep telling you, well, maybe you were drunk, maybe, friends and family and police are saying certain things, you will...
Right. Well, I think the suggestion that she had blacked out, that's problematic.
Well, what you're saying is blatant honesty, and I'm not here to defend her, I'm just giving you the facts. Now, as far as someone breaking in, it is what it is. The window was tampered with. I do not believe it came from inside the home, from outside. And I do believe that baby is alive and someone has her.
Why do you believe that?
Because every time they do a search, you don't steal a 10-month-old to do away with a 10-month-old. You take it to covet it or to traffic it. So when they're doing these searches and no one finds that child, that heartens me. That gives me hope.
Tell us about the dogs. The dogs that that bark at everything, that didn't bark at all that night.
Joe came in yesterday. Joe comes in the house. Joe comes in the house, and I go, Joe, look on the couch. He goes, what? There's a dog. Dog didn't bark, did it?
It didn't, and it's known, and believe me, neighbors have been interviewed regarding this dog. The dog is a dog who just sits there and stares at you. I mean, it's not a barking dog, and that's the bottom line. I mean, there's so many little facts that are out there that support their position. And remember this, they immediately made a prompt outcry. They called 911 within seconds of this discovery. And the reaction from Deborah, if you've seen her in the initial stages, that's not crocodile tears. Those aren't, that's real terror.
And I'm not trying to say that what they're saying is not true, but you guys know better than anyone that the facts support that in these kinds of cases, 90% of the time it's a family member.
Absolutely, and they had to start the investigation with them, and they should have started the investigation with them. But all I'm saying is, let's make sure we keep the focus on trying to find this baby.
True.
And I told them that.
And not start with the conclusion that they're guilty. Let's find evidence to support that.
Can someone say if she actually failed a lie detector test or not, Bill?
Well, she said it. The police, it's my understanding...
Well, she didn't say she failed. She said she was told that.
She was told that. It's my understanding the police never said that. So,
Why would she say that?
In an investigation, they could say whatever you want.
No, she said,
why would
she said that because that's what someone in the PD told her. And someone in the PD also told her within 2 hours of this baby gone missing that we know you did it. I mean, that's a tough thing to say to a mother who's grieving over the disappearance of her baby.
And it's important to note, when I first got there, boots on the ground, I told them, I am not here for you. I am going here for the baby, and I'm going wherever the truth takes me. And they opened up. They didn't blink. So that's important to know.
Speaking of boots on the ground, Judge Janine Pirro has been on our show talking about this particular case, and she says that there are a lot of boots on the ground regarding the local police, and the Kansas City police are terrific. They're doing a good job. Would you agree?
From what I see, I don't have any privy information. His view versus my view may vary.
What's your view?
My view is they're doing a competent job. They're doing a good job, but I don't have any inside information.
And my view is that they're doing a great job. I mean, the FBI is involved, and we know how terrific the FBI is when it comes to investigations. The Governor Nixon, had the courage to call in the National Guard, which we applaud. And the PD, those people want to find this baby. I understand that. But there have been a few instances that I think they've come to a conclusion based on
like
percentages.
What are you talking about?
The initial interviews where one of the investigating officers from the PD actually accused the mother of murder. Said, we know you did it. We know you did it.
Isn't that one of those things they do to try to elicit?
Listen. That's in certain cases. When you're dealing with, assume for a second, this mother has lost her 10-month-old baby, now 11 months old. I mean, her terror, her fear,
that may rattle you.
And the notion that the people who are supposed to be helping you find this baby are now just accusing you.
Would the police have done that? We saw that day that they videotaped themselves trying to come through the window that the baby allegedly went out of, or at least the intruder came in.
Who knows?
But what does that video tell you? Because it said to the viewer that it was really difficult to get into that
if
window.
I may speak to that, do you remember way back when O.J. tried to put on that glove? What did he say later? He put his fingers out, made it hard to do. You know, just because it seems what
so
it is.
the police would deliberately
try
to make it look difficult?
I'm not saying that.
It's something to think about.
Exactly. It's something to think
the
about.
The window was tampered with.
And
there's
more
no
importantly, there's a
question about
$100,000 reward. And I pray someone looks to collect on that, because that baby is out there, someone has it, and I want someone to have that money.
And who's putting up the money?
Bill.
He's not going to tell her.
Your people, the people
Brian.
who brought you out.
Brian's the anonymous benefactor.
You had to make
I would
chances.
send you out if I had it, though, Bill.
If you had to do chances, 1 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 9 out of 10, that this baby's going to be found alive.
Look, I'm not an expert, I'm not an investigator. It's more Bill's forte, but I mean, I want to be optimistic, and I like some of the reasonings he has, which is, you don't take a 10-month-old to do it harm unless you're such a sociopath. I mean, for no particular reason. There seems to be some sort of a particular motive, whether it be financial gain or who knows. I mean, I want to be optimistic, and I know this family believes 100% that Lisa's still out there.
Well, we all want to be optimistic, and we pray that the baby's alive. And it's good that you would share your story, Bill, Joe.
Okay, guys.
Thank you
And
very
get the
much.
word out.
Thank you, folks.